The NFL's regular season is over. The playoffs are set. But before the playoffs start, what's going on right now? The coaching carousel. Coaches of bad teams are losing their jobs today. We have Mike Sielski on the phone with us, our Jets beat writer. Mike, we certainly weren't surprised by coaching ousters in Cleveland or Philadelphia. Were you a little bit surprised, though? You are the Jets beat writer. Were you a little bit surprised that Rex Ryan has kept his job, but GM Mike Tannenbaum is out?
I'm not too surprised, Paul, only for this reason. Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, had made it very clear throughout the year, even going back to training camp, that he likes Rex Ryan. He thinks he's capable of winning a Super Bowl. And he also likes the fact that Rex is interesting. And in New York, you got to do one of two things. You got to win or you got to be interesting. Tannenbaum is a different story. The Jets had severe problems with their roster this year in terms of the level of talent, personnel moves, things of that nature. It was probably time for Tannenbaum to go. That's the less surprising of the moves.
Right. Mike, who do you think, I think Andy Reid's probably going to be the answer to this question, but who do you think is going to land somewhere quickly? Which of these coaches? We said it's a carousel, and it is, so these coaches get recycled. Who do you think is going to land where?
I think Andy Reid will be the one guy who will land probably quicker than anybody, assuming he wants to come back and coach. San Diego would be a good spot for him, presuming that Norv Turner, the Chargers coach, is out, as all indications seem to be. The other interesting part is I don't know how much the carousel is going to turn, because I think you're going to see some guys like John Gruden or maybe even Bill Cowher get back into coaching, guys who had success in years past. And there's this trend now in the NFL to hire college coaches. There have been guys who have had success in college who are now having success in the NFL, guys like Pete Carroll, Greg Schiano to a certain extent in Tampa Bay. So you may see somebody like Chip Kelly at the University of Oregon, who will be much sought after over the next couple of weeks.
Right. Mike, let's talk about the playoffs now. Peyton Manning is in. Adrian Peterson is in. A lot of rookie quarterbacks are in. What do you think are the most compelling storylines as the playoffs get started?
I don't think there's any doubt that the most compelling storyline is the possibility that the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos, i.e. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, could meet in the AFC Championship game in 3 weeks. They're the top two seeds in the AFC. That would be a dream matchup. It would get TV ratings, short of a Super Bowl, but not by much. The other aspect, as you mentioned, are these young rookie quarterbacks, Robert Griffin III, Andrew Luck in Indianapolis, Russell Wilson in Seattle. The NFL has never seen anything like this, and it's going to be interesting to see how these rookies, who have been so good during the regular season, handle things in the postseason.
Yeah, and in Minnesota, Christian Ponder is only a second-year guy. Very much sort of on that, just starting out range there. What do you think about Adrian Peterson? The game he had against the Packers was tremendous. Now he gets to go up against them again.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge, I think, for the Packers to stop him. Now, the question becomes, does it change much because they're playing outside? Yesterday's game was indoors, which is where the Vikings play half their games. They play all their home games indoors. This is going to be at Lambeau Field. It's going to be colder, different conditions. You would think the Packers are going to gear up to stop Peterson, who had just about the greatest season any NFL running back's ever had, and less than a year removed from knee surgery. So that's a really compelling first-round matchup, given how great Peterson is and how great Aaron Rodgers, the Packers quarterback, has been for the last 5 years.
Right. In the AFC, Mike, this is really sort of your realm there. You cover the Jets. In the AFC, who do you think is going to emerge from that round, from that group?
Well, I think the Colts have a very good chance to beat the Ravens. The Ravens haven't been playing well over the last 5 or 6 weeks. Similarly, in the Saturday matchup, you have a rematch from the first round from last year with the Bengals and the Texans. I like the Bengals in that matchup. I think they're playing sounder football at this point. The Texans got off to a rip-roaring start and have really slid backward lately. Their defense is a mess. Their passing game hasn't been good over the last few weeks. I would expect Cincinnati to win that game and advance to the second round.
Yeah, and let's flip over to the NFC. Atlanta's the number 1 seed, but they might be about the least talked about number 1 seed in recent memory. Everyone is talking about Robert Griffin, Russell Wilson in Seattle, Adrian Peterson. Can the Falcons can they defend that number 1 seed?
I think they can. I think, they're regarded as something as a paper tiger because they haven't won a playoff game, in recent years, even though they've been there, the last, I think 3 of the last 4 years. But Matt Ryan, their quarterback, took a big step forward this year. It's always difficult to play them in the Georgia Dome, their home field, and the Seattle Seahawks, who have been probably the hottest team in the league heading into the playoffs, aren't going to have a home game probably aren't going to have a home game, I should say, the entire postseason. They're a completely different team at home than they are on the road. They're not quite as fearsome, and plus they get the Redskins and RG3 in round one.
Yeah, all right, a lot of good football this year. Mike Sealski, Wall Street Journal, Jets beat writer. Appreciate the time, sir.
Anytime, Paul. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. All right, that's it. Thanks.